Well, you know what? The weather certainly is very nice outside, and a lot of people may want to go out and enjoy it today, and there's no better place to consider than the Sedgwick County Zoo. And we have Shanae in here this morning, and I guess that's a little dirty.
A little dirty, that's right. Well, you know, the great thing about
Shanae.
animals is you never know what they're going to do, and luckily I came prepared.
It's all good.
This is a gopher tortoise, and if anybody's wondering, they tend to defecate whenever we bring them out.
Oh, really?
This is Waif, and what Waif does is poops a lot.
Okay.
So as we were waiting and watching the weather, Waif decided to relieve herself.
It has nothing to do with Tony's forecast.
That's right. No, it's a beautiful forecast. Even Waif would enjoy it.
Oh my goodness.
Waif is a really interesting animal. She's a gopher tortoise, and she came to us from Sedgwick County Zoo in an interesting way. About a year ago, a gentleman came in who had found some kids playing with her in the park on a cold day. Oh. He questioned them a little bit, and one of the things that he found out was that they had brought her back from spring break when they were in Florida. Okay. Well, gopher tortoises are a protected species. So they had actually broken about 8 federal laws by first taking her, moving her across state lines, and then trying to turn her into a pet. So luckily this gentleman was able to talk them out of keeping the tortoise and brought her into the zoo. We then had to get the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service involved. We had to get Florida Wildlife Rescue involved to make sure to see what they wanted to do with her, because since she was a female, the important piece is to get her back into a potential breeding program. However, since we had no idea where in Florida she was from, it was determined that she was a waif. She was one of those animals that had no home left. They didn't want to put her back in an area that wasn't where she was originally from because of territorial issues. So they went ahead and said we could keep her at Sedgwick County Zoo and help use her to teach about the importance of not taking wildlife. And even here in our own state, you know, we have several different types of box turtles, and often people will see them crossing the roads and they think, oh, let's, you know, pick them up and take them home. Sadly, generally it's the females that are crossing the roads. They cross more because they're looking for nesting areas. And every time we take an animal like that out of its natural habitat, there's less chance of them being able to breed and reproduce and continue to keep those populations in our state.
So it hurts things so much.
It hurts things so much. And right now we actually could be looking at a reduction in turtle populations in our state, not only from accidental things like that, but also from people who will take them and then illegally sell them overseas as pets. So
I never thought about that being a problem.
But it is. And it's important for us to remember that you know, wildlife trafficking happens right here in our city, whether it be our own native animals that are being brought out, or whether it be animals and artifacts being brought in. And we, of course, can make the ultimate difference in that by just not doing it. That's the easiest thing you can do in the world to help protect wildlife.
I'm sure some people wouldn't even think about that, grabbing a
just
turtle
don't.
and just bringing it home and be like, oh, that's so exciting for my kids.
Especially because they probably did it as kids, and we just don't think about some of those things anymore. But it is important to look at the bigger picture, especially as many of our wild places are shrinking. Those animals need to be there so that they can keep those populations up, so that our kids can continue to see those animals and their grandkids can see those animals in the future. So it's an important thing to always do.
Absolutely. And people can go and check out her over at the zoo. Beautiful day to go and experience
it is a beautiful
day.
And this is one of our enrichment days. The first Saturday of every month is an enrichment day at the zoo, where you can see a lot of really unusual and non-natural enrichment that the animals will receive. So you never know what they're going to be playing or tearing apart on the first Saturday of the month.
Well, that's great. Well, again, the Sedgwick County Zoo open today. Wanting to see you today on this beautiful weather day. We're going to get a full look at that forecast coming up in just a couple minutes right here on Good Morning Kansas.